Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Swedish ebook before it's gone.
In this video, you learn 20 of the most common words and phrases in Swedish. Hi everybody, my name is Emma. Welcome to the 800 Core Swedish Words and Phrases video series. This series will teach you the 800 most common words and phrases in Swedish. But there's a twist, which each new lesson in this series will include the previous lessons at the end. So after you learn the new words and phrases, stick around and review what you learned in previous lessons. Reviewing is one of the most important parts of learning a language. You can also get the full list right now at swedishpod101.com. Click the link in the description to access more example sentences, create your own flashcard deck, and finally master Swedish. Okay, let's get started. First is stekpanna, frying pan, stekpanna, stekpanna, frying pan. Den här stekpannan är mycket billig. This frying pan is very cheap. Den här stekpannan är mycket billig. Skärbräda, cutting board. Skärbräda, skärbräda, cutting board. Kocken skär ett hårdkokt ägg på skärbrädan. The cook is cutting a hard-boiled egg on the cutting board. Kocken skär ett hårdkokt ägg på skärbrädan. Diskho, sink, diskho, diskho, sink. Diskhon är nästan full. The sink is almost full. Diskhon är nästan full. Skål, bowl, skål, skål, bowl. Skålen är tom. The bowl is empty. Skålen är tom. Utgång, exit, utgång, utgång, exit. Var är utgången? Where is the exit? Var är utgången? Karta, map, karta, karta, map. Kolla din karta så du kan hitta vägen till destinationen. Check the map to find your way to your destination. Kolla din karta så du kan hitta vägen till din destination. Resväska, suitcase, resväska, resväska, suitcase. Lämna inte värdesaker i din resväska. Do not leave valuables in your suitcase. Lämna inte värdesaker i din resväska. Turist, tourist, turist, turist, tourist. Turisten tar bilder på djuren. The tourist is taking pictures of the animals. Turisten tar bilder på djuren. Politik, politics, politik, politik, politics. Politikern pratar politik. The politician is talking politics. Politikern pratar politik. Biologi, biology, biologi, biologi. Biology. Biologi är studien av levande organismer. Biology is the study of living organisms. Biologi är studien av levande organismer. Kemi, chemistry, kemi, kemi, chemistry. Laboratoriet är ett ställe där man lär sig om kemi. The laboratory is a place to learn about chemistry. Laboratoriet är ett ställe där man lär sig om kemi. Fysik, physics, fysik, fysik, physics. Jag kan grunderna i fysik. I know the basics of physics. Jag kan grunderna i fysik. Ekonomi, economics, ekonomi, ekonomi, economics. Ekonomi är en bra bakgrund att ha inom många områden. Economics is a good background for many fields. Ekonomi är en bra bakgrund att ha inom många områden. Placera, put, placera, placera, put. Var snäll att försöka placera den här lådan på den översta hyllan. Please try to put this box on the top shelf. Var snäll att försöka placera den här lådan på den översta hyllan. Minnas, remember, minnas, minnas, remember. Jag ska försöka minnas. I will try to remember. Jag ska försöka minnas. Hålla i. Hold. Hålla i. Hålla i. Hold. Hålla i handräcket. Hold on to the handrail. Hålla i handräcket. Kundvagn. Shopping cart. Kundvagn. Kundvagn. Shopping cart. Kundvagnen är tom. The shopping cart is empty. Kundvagnen är tom. Plastpåse. Plastic bag. Plastpåse. Plastpåse. Plastic bag. Mannen bär en plastpåse full med matvaror. The man is carrying a plastic bag full of groceries. Mannen bär en plastpåse full med matvaror. Komedi, comedy, komedi, komedi, comedy. De tittar på en komedi och skrattar. They're watching a comedy and laughing. De tittar på en komedi och skrattar. Roman, novel, roman, roman, novel. Jag tycker om spänningsromaner. I like suspense novels. Jag tycker om spänningsromaner. Well done! In this lesson, you expanded your vocabulary and learned 20 new useful words. Click the link in the description and sign up for free at swedishpod101.com to get access to the full list of vocabulary you need for daily life conversations. You'll also get example sentences, custom flashcard decks, and more learning resources. See you next time. Hejdå!
Hi everyone, I'm Gabriella. How are your Swedish listening skills? In this video, you'll have a chance to test them out with a quiz. First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
En kvinna frågar ett butiksbiträde på en bokaffär något. Vilken bok vill kvinnan titta på? Ursäkta mig, jag skulle vilja titta på en bok i den där hyllan.
Vilken bok vill du ha?
Den om bilar.
Ett ögonblick. Den här?
Ja, den är det.
Varsågod.
Vilken bok vill kvinnan titta på? En kvinna frågar ett butiksbiträde på en bokaffär något. Vilken bok vill kvinnan titta på? Ursäkta mig, jag skulle vilja titta på en bok i den där hyllan.
Vilken bok vill du ha?
Den om bilar.
Ett ögonblick. Den här?
Ja, den är det.
Varsågod.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. How are your Swedish listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
En man och en kvinna tittar i en meny på en restaurang. Vad ska mannen beställa?
Vad ska du beställa?
Pizzan ser god ut. Jag tror jag tar en sådan.
Jag åt pizza igår, så
Okej, vad sägs om en hamburgare då?
låter bra. Jag tar en sådan.
Vad ska mannen beställa? En man och en kvinna tittar i en meny på en restaurang. Vad ska mannen beställa?
Vad ska du beställa?
Pizzan ser god ut. Jag tror jag tar en sådan.
Jag åt pizza igår, så
Okej, vad sägs om en hamburgare då?
låter bra. Jag tar en sådan.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. How are your Swedish listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
En man ringer en läkarmottagning. Vilken tid behöver han vara på läkarmottagningen? Hej, hur kan jag hjälpa till?
Vilken tid stänger ni idag?
Vi stänger 6:00, så var snäll och kom innan 5:30.
Okej, tack.
Vilken tid behöver han vara på läkarmottagningen? En man ringer en läkarmottagning. Vilken tid behöver han vara på läkarmottagningen? Hej, hur kan jag hjälpa till?
Vilken tid stänger ni idag?
Vi stänger 6:00, så var snäll och kom innan 5:30.
Okej, tack.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. How are your Swedish listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
En pojke läser sin dagbok. Vad var det första som pojken gjorde idag?
Vädret var underbart idag. Jag åkte och simmade på eftermiddagen i poolen och jag gick på bio på kvällen. Jag pluggade också hela morgonen. Idag var en bra dag.
Vad var det första som pojken gjorde idag? En pojke läser sin dagbok. Vad var det första som pojken gjorde idag?
Vädret var underbart idag. Jag åkte och simmade på eftermiddagen i poolen och jag gick på bio på kvällen. Jag pluggade också hela morgonen. Idag var en bra dag.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. How are your Swedish listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
En kvinna och en man tittar på ett fotografi. Vilket foto tittar de på? Det här är ett foto på det fotbollslag som din son spelar i, eller hur? Vem av dem är din son?
Han.
Åh, han är längst.
Jajamensan, han är till och med längre än jag.
Vilket foto tittar de på? En kvinna och en man tittar på ett fotografi. Vilket foto tittar de på? Det här är ett foto på det fotbollslag som din son spelar i, eller hur? Vem av dem är din son?
Han.
Åh, han är längst.
Jajamensan, han är till och med längre än jag.
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time.
Hej, jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's svenska på 3 minuter. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson we learned how to introduce ourselves in Swedish. In this lesson we're going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. Är ni redo? Are you ready? Så låt oss börja. So let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. So let's start with the easiest. It's just one word. Tack. Tack. Tack means thank you. When saying thank you very much, you just need to add så mycket at the end. Tack så mycket. Tack så mycket. Så mycket literally means so much. So tack så mycket, it's like saying thank you so much. During the last lesson, we didn't mention anything about formality in speech in Swedish. However, there are some subtle differences in how you will be perceived by others. Tack is a casual way to thank someone. Tack så mycket expresses more gratitude and is thus more formal. A longer and more formal phrase which expresses a lot of gratitude will be tack så mycket, jättesnällt. Tack så mycket, jättesnällt. Jättesnällt means really kind. It is very common to put jätte in front of adjectives to amplify their meaning. But how do you respond to these thanks? It's easy. There are basically two different ways to do it. The first is varsågod. Varsågod. Varsågod means you are welcome. You use this expression after someone has thanked you for a favor or for something given to them. The other way to say you are welcome is the expression ingen fara. Ingen fara. Literally, this phrase means no problem or it's okay, and it's used when someone has thanked you for your help or for a favor. So, when someone says tack to you, you can simply reply with varsågod or ingen fara, depending on what they thanked you for. Now it's time for Elin's insights. If you're not sure about whether to use tack or tack så mycket, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. You don't have to worry about formal or informal situations. Tack can be used with just about anyone, anywhere, and at any time. Do you know what ses means? In our next lesson, you'll learn this and other greetings in Swedish. See you in the next Svenska på 3 minuter lesson. Tack! Vi ses nästa gång! Hej! Jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson, we learned how to be grateful to people by saying tack. In this lesson, we learned some of the most common greetings used in Sweden. Är ni redo? Are you ready? Så låt oss börja. So let's start. The most commonly used informal greeting is hej. Hej. Hej means hi. We use it when we meet people. We can use this greeting with anyone. Yet, it isn't the only way to greet someone. We also have hallå. Hallå, which means hello. And more time-specific greetings like god dag. God dag. Literally, god dag means good day. As a rule of thumb, we can use god dag only during the daytime, from morning until evening. During the evening, we say god kväll. God kväll. Kväll is Swedish for evening. So god kväll means good evening. Finally, in the morning we say god morgon. God morgon. This means good morning. However, instead of god dag and god kväll, it's much more common to just use hej. God morgon, on the other hand, is still the most common phrase to use in the morning. When saying goodbye, we say hej då. Hej då. When parting for a long time, we often add ha det bra. Ha det bra, which means be well. Finally, in Swedish, we have an expression meaning see you soon that can be considered both formal and informal. Vi ses. Vi ses. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Swedish. Let's review them all again. When meeting friends or someone we don't know, hej. There also is hallå. In the morning, god morgon. During the day, god dag. And in the evening, god kväll. When leaving, we say hej då. When leaving but want to imply see you soon, vi ses. To which we sometimes add ha det bra or be well. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Elin's insights. In formal situations, Swedish people commonly greet each other by shaking hands. However, if we meet someone we are very friendly with, we hug. Swedish people are generally shy and might not take the initiative to hug.
But don't be afraid to do it, it's always appreciated. During the next lesson, we'll learn the meaning of the phrase "Talar du engelska?" Do you already know it? I'll be waiting to talk about it with you in our next Svenska på 3 minuter lesson. På återseende! Hej, jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson, we learned the most common forms of greetings in Swedish. Do you remember them? In this lesson, we're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking it in Swedish, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're saying, even if their answer is no. Here's the most common way to say it. Talar du engelska? Talar du engelska? Swedish is a pretty straightforward language. We conjugate verbs based on time, which means we have past, present and infinitive. The question, talar du engelska, translates as, are you speaking English? As in English, speaking is the present tense, talar. The second word in the sentence, du, simply means you. And you probably recognize engelska to be English. Talar du engelska? Like in English, there are a whole bunch of ways to ask this question. Let's see another one. It literally means, do you know English? Kan du tala engelska? Kan du tala engelska? When asking this question to someone you don't know, begin by saying ursäkta mig or excuse me. Ursäkta mig, kan du tala engelska? Ursäkta mig, kan du tala engelska? As you might have noticed, the verb tala is slightly different than talar. Remember, the verb changes depending on the time it is in. We are now talking about the infinitive since it is coupled with kan, which means can. The responses you will receive could be one of these three. Ja, yes. Ja. Lite, a little. Lite. Nej, jag talar inte engelska. No, I don't speak English. Nej, jag talar inte engelska. Since this last one is a negative statement, we need to put inte after the verb talar. Inte means not. Jag talar inte engelska literally translates into I speak not English. Now it's time for Elin's insights. For those of you who are not just English speakers, you can obviously use this question with any language you need. Swedish people study other European languages at school, so maybe you will get lucky. Just substitute engelska with italienska for Italian, franska for French, spanska for Spanish, tyska for German. In this lesson, we mentioned the expression ursäkta mig. But did you know that this could also be used as an apology? In the next lesson, we will learn this and other ways to apologize in Swedish. I'll see you in our next Svenska på 3 minuter lesson. På återseende! Hej, jag heter Elin. Hi everybody, I'm Elin. Welcome to SwedishPod101.com's Svenska på 3 minuter, the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Swedish. In the last lesson, we learned the phrase ursäkta mig, kan du tala engelska? Excuse me, do you speak English? We mentioned the word ursäkta mig, which means excuse me in Swedish. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use ursäkta mig and other words when apologizing in Swedish. We use ursäkta mig in formal situations, such as when we are ordering something in bars or restaurants. For example, ursäkta mig, en kaffe tack. Excuse me, a coffee please. We can also use it when asking a question. Ursäkta mig, var är toaletten? excuse me, where's the toilet? The common way to say excuse me is ursäkta mig. Ursäkta mig. Just like ursäkta mig, we can use förlåt when apologizing for an action. Förlåt means I'm sorry. Förlåt. You can also hear some Swedes say sorry, which is a loan word from English, and it's often used as a quick apology amongst friends. Both of these phrases can be used for either excuse me or I'm sorry. But if you really want to apologize for something, it might be better to use the word förlåt. The phrase förlåt, jag är jätteledsen för det means I'm really sorry about that. This can be used in both formal and informal situations. Förlåt, jag är jätteledsen för det. First we have the familiar förlåt. Next we insert a Swedish pronoun for I, jag. Then är, which means am. Followed by ledsen, which means sad. Again, you can see the use of the word jätte in front of an adjective, just like in lesson 2. Finally, we have the phrase för det, meaning about that. Förlåt, jag är jätteledsen för det. Now it's time for Elin's insights. In Sweden, if you accidentally bump into someone, you might not get any response. But to be polite, we either say ursäkta mig or förlåt. You can also use these phrases when you want to say, sorry, can you repeat what you just said? Are you able to count in Swedish? In the next lesson, we learn the numbers in Swedish from 1 to 10. I'll be waiting for you in our next Svenska på 3 minuter lesson. Vi ses nästa gång!
Most people who learn a foreign language learn it so that they can one day have real-life conversations with native speakers. When you start out learning and crack open your first textbook or listen to your first podcast, having a real conversation can feel like a fantasy. When everything about a language feels new, it can be overwhelming. But this couldn't be further from the truth. While it does take a significant amount of time and effort to become fluent, having a conversation might not be as far off as you think. In this video, we'll look at 3 ways you can boost your conversational skills and start talking to native speakers. Number 1, find native speakers and practice with them. It's unlikely you live near a big group of native speakers to practice with. If you happen to be in a major or international city, your chances may be better. Check and see if your city has a general language exchange. Chances are there could be a native speaker there who is also trying to learn another language. Practicing in person with a native speaker is probably the most interesting option for honing your speaking skills. But if you can't find anyone where you live, the next best option is to look online. Luckily for language learners, the past 10 years or so have seen an explosion in online language exchange sites. On these websites, you can search for someone who is a native speaker of your target language and is also learning your native language. The idea behind a language exchange is that you communicate with them via video or text chat, and half of the time, they help you practice your target language. And for the other half, you help them practice theirs. Practicing via an online language exchange is a highly effective way to practice your conversational skills. Number 2, work on pronunciation. Pronunciation is often an overlooked skill when it comes to learning a foreign language. Most people think of a good foreign accent as a luxury rather than a necessity. But what most people don't talk about is how having a good accent boosts your listening and comprehension skills. If you can hear a sound from a foreign language and know how to make it yourself, then you're more likely to understand native speakers when they talk at normal speed, and you're also more likely to remember any new words or phrases you come across. Having a good accent means that the language no longer sounds foreign. Instead, it sounds familiar, maybe even natural. So how do you go about perfecting your accent? The best way is to break down the language into its individual sounds. Make note of any sounds that are the same or similar to your native language and of those that are different. Of the sounds that are different, spend your time practicing the ones that you find the hardest to say correctly. After you're comfortable with the individual sounds, you can start linking together words and phrases. This is where accent practice starts to get really fun and interesting. Get your hands on some native speaker audio from a TV show, song, or podcast. Play the audio back and listen closely a few times. Take note of how words blend together in speech. Then, do your best to imitate what you hear, trying to match the speaker's emphasis and intonation. Our language learning program's playback feature is perfect for this. Record yourself and compare it to the original recording. Rinse and repeat until you're comfortable with the audio selection, and then move on to something more difficult. This is how you can break through the accent barrier and really start to make the language your own. Number 3, learn phrases, not just individual words. Learning grammar and individual words is great, but it's not the only approach you should take if you want to speak fluently. In addition to your regular grammar and vocabulary, try learning whole phrases, even if you aren't totally sure how they work grammatically. Learn phrases that are specific to your needs. It's a good idea to learn phrases that are grouped around a certain setting or subject, such as simple greetings or introductions, questions for getting to know someone, or traveling comfortably. You can even learn filler phrases, which you can use so that you have something to say when, well, you don't know what to say. Learning phrases like this will help you become conversational faster. You may not understand what you're saying literally, but as long as you know the general meaning behind the phrase and know when to use it, you'll be able to talk like a native. Eventually, your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary should catch up with the phrases you know. Learning a new language should feel like an adventure. There will be plateaus and periods in your learning where it feels like you're hitting a wall, but being able to speak with native speakers and have real conversations will help you combat language fatigue. After all, talking to someone face-to-face in a foreign language is one of the main reasons we start learning in the first place. And for even more ways to gain conversation skills, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
In this video, you'll learn 20 of the most common words and phrases in Swedish. Hi everybody! My name is Emma. Welcome to the 800 Core Swedish Words and Phrases video series. This series will teach you the 800 most common words and phrases in Swedish. But there's a twist, which each new lesson in this series will include the previous lessons at the end. So after you learned the new words and phrases, stick around and review what you learned in previous lessons. Reviewing is one of the most important parts of learning a language. You can also get the full list right now at swedishpod101.com. Click the link in the description to access more example sentences, create your own flashcard deck, and finally master Swedish. Okay, let's get started. First is hund, dog, hund, hund, dog. Den där hunden ser minsann mätt ut. That dog sure looks full. Den där hunden ser minsann mätt ut. Katt, cat, katt, katt, cat. Hans katt har äntligen hittat hem. His cat has finally found its way home. Hans katt har äntligen hittat hem. Hamster, 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 hamster. Hamstrar tycker om att sova på dagen. Hamsters like to sleep during the day. Hamstrar tycker om att sova på dagen. Varm, warm, varm, varm, warm. Det är väldigt varmt här inne. It's very warm in here. Det är väldigt varmt här inne. Regna, regn, regna, regna, rain. Det kommer att regna imorgon. It will rain tomorrow. Det kommer att regna imorgon. Tomat, tomato, tomat, tomat, tomato. Tomaten kom till Sverige på 1600-talet. The tomato came to Sweden in the 17th century. Tomaten kom till Sverige på 1600-talet. Jordgubbe, strawberry, jordgubbe, jordgubbe, strawberry. Jordgubben kom till Sverige på 1700-talet. The strawberry came to Sweden in the 18th century. Jordgubben kom till Sverige på 1700-talet. Körsbär, cherry, körsbär, körsbär, cherry. Jag vill äta körsbär. I want to eat cherries. Jag vill äta körsbär. Barn, child, barn, barn, child. Barnet räcker upp sin hand. The child is raising his hand. Barnet räcker upp sin hand. Kompis, friend, kompis, kompis, friend. Han har varit min kompis i 20 år. He has been my friend for 20 years. Han har varit min kompis i 20 år. Vuxen, adult, vuxen, vuxen, adult. Gråt inte, du är vuxen. Don't cry, you are an adult. Gråt inte, du är vuxen. Cykel, bicycle, cykel, cykel, bicycle. Cykeln är ett behändigt sätt att ta sig runt staden. The bicycle is a convenient way to get around the city. Cykeln är ett behändigt sätt att ta sig runt staden. Bil, car, bil, bil, car. Den bilen är för dyr, jag tänker inte köpa den. That car is too expensive, I won't buy it. Den bilen är för dyr, jag tänker inte köpa den. Motorcykel, motorcycle, motorcykel, motorcykel, motorcycle. När det är fint väder åker han till stranden på sin motorcykel. When the weather is nice, he rides his motorcycle to the beach. När det är fint väder åker han till staden på sin motorcykel. Moped, scooter, moped, moped, scooter. I Grekland hyrde vi mopeder och körde runt staden. In Greece, we rented scooters and drove around town. I Grekland hyrde vi mopeder och körde runt staden. Båt, boat, båt, båt, boat. Det är roligt att åka båt. It is fun to travel by boat. Det är roligt att åka båt. Manet, jellyfish, manet, manet, jellyfish. Maneterna guppar i vattnet. The jellyfish are bobbing in the water. Maneterna guppar i vattnet. Hummer, lobster, hummer, hummer, lobster. Hummer är dyrt att köpa. Lobster is expensive to buy. Hummer är dyrt att köpa. Krabba. Crab. Krabba. Krabba. Crab. Krabban går på stranden. The crab is walking on the beach. Krabban går på stranden. Sköldpadda. Turtle. Sköldpadda. Sköldpadda. Turtle. Sköldpaddan simmar i havet. The turtle is swimming in the sea. Sköldpaddan simmar i havet. Well done! In this lesson, you expanded your vocabulary and learned 20 new useful words. Click the link in the description and sign up for free at swedishpod101.com to get access to the full list of vocabulary you need for daily life conversations. You'll also get example sentences, custom flashcard decks, and more learning resources. See you next time! Hejdå!
Hi everybody, welcome to Swedish Pod 101. It's time for another class, another lesson in the Swedish language. And I'm Hannah, talking to you from Sweden. Today we're gonna go through some very basic words, some foundations. So let's get started with the words. Hey, hello. Very basic, simple. You say hey, it works for everybody, whoever you meet. You say hey and they will probably respond with another hey back to you. God morgon. Good morning. Bit more formal, nice and polite for the mornings. Means the same as in English, means good morning. God eftermiddag. Good afternoon. Same, polite and nice, but of course used in the afternoon. And again, it's the same meaning as in English. It means good afternoon. God eftermiddag. Good afternoon. God natt. Good night. Most of the time it's used for when you're going to sleep. So when you wish someone a nice night, good night's sleep, this is what you say. Vad heter du? What's your name? Very easy, we're not that formal in Sweden, so and again it's the same meaning word by word. It means what's your name? You ask what someone is called. Jag heter Hanna. I'm Hannah. Meaning is just my name is Hannah, and I do of course recommend you to not say Hannah but use your own name instead. It might get a bit weird if you just copy my name. Unless your name is Hannah, of course. Trevligt att träffas. Nice to meet you. Same meaning as in English again. Always you can use this when you meet someone, like when you introduce yourself. But you can also use it when you say goodbye and you want to tell them that it was nice getting to know them, nice meeting them. First time or every time. So there's no wrong time for using this one when you want to tell someone that it was nice seeing them. Hur mår du? How are you? Nice and easy short phrase. Sometimes in Sweden we do respond like, oh, it's all good, even though it's not. And sometimes if you know someone closer, they probably give you a more thorough explanation, tell them a bit more about what's going on in their life. So this can either be just a polite phrase or when you sincerely mean to, find out more about what's going on in someone's life. Jag mår bra tack. Och du? I'm fine thanks. And you? Yeah, so maybe this is the polite version of the answer if everything is good, or if everything is good. So this is just the most common way to respond if someone asks you like, what's going on? It's all good. I don't want to go too deep into whatever is going on in your life, but it's nice and polite. And of course it ends with asking someone back how they are. Snälla, please. In Swedish, we use this word snälla. It's the meaning of snäll is nice, kind. And sometimes we use the word for thanks instead, like in the end of the sentence, like, can you pass me the salt, please? We say tack, thanks, instead of this word. But you can swap them. You can use either of the two, and it's still going to be a nice way of asking someone to maybe help you or answer a question or something. Tack, thank you. Here we go with this word, tack, thank you, or thanks. I would say that it's more like thanks. It's the short, nice, not very formal way of just saying thanks. I think maybe this is the most useful word in any language, don't you think? Like, every time if someone helps you with the door or something, you can thank them. And that's one of the first things, for me at least, that I want to learn how to say in a language. Thank people for helping me. Varsågod. You're welcome. Maybe you help someone sometimes and they say thank you for helping them, holding a door or something. I guess in almost every country it's like the norm that you, maybe if someone is carrying a lot of stuff or someone elderly walks by, you hold the door for them. And in Sweden, if they say thank you, you reply with this phrase for you're welcome. So, varsågod. You're welcome. Ja. Yes. It's just yes, you know. When you want to say, you can add the yes please, ja tack. But it's just yes, easy. Nej. No. Also, nej, short and easy, is just the word to say no. You can add the politer version, say no thanks, then you just say nej tack. So this is actually fun. You can combine the words in this lesson a lot to create more polite sentences. Okay. Okay. So this one you kind of already knew if you know the English version, and I've heard that okay is one of the most common words in the world these days. It's used in a lot of languages, almost the same pronunciation, almost the same spelling as well. So, okay, that one always works. Ursäkta mig. Excuse me. For when you want to maybe walk by someone is standing in your way, like maybe accidentally blocking a door or something, you just want to politely ask them if you can step by or if they could move to the side, then you use this one. Also, if you want to get attention, you use this, like, excuse me, to get some attention. Maybe in a restaurant or something like that. Förlåt. Sorry. Maybe almost as useful as knowing how to say thanks. You can say this, I'm sorry. And this is maybe more on an emotional level than the phrase for excuse me. It's a bit similar to English there too, I think, that you use. This is more like serious, maybe deeper level. Maybe you hurt someone, or it doesn't have to be like that super emotional, but maybe you accidentally hurt someone. Then you say sorry. Vad är klockan? What time is it? So in Sweden we don't use the AM PM, but we use the 1, 2, 3, 4, then we say 13, 14, 15 hours for the afternoon time. And so that's also a good thing to remember when asking about time, that maybe someone will tell you, oh, it's 14, then they actually mean 2 p.m. So that's a good fact to have when you ask for the time, so that you understand what they tell you. Var är toaletten? Where is the restroom? Good one to know, you all. I guess you've sometimes been somewhere and you really needed a restroom. I think that's like part of being human. And then asking for it in the right language can actually be crucial not to have an accident. So actually, as you might have heard when I said it, it's quite similar to the word toilet. So toilet. So you can probably use toilet and get around, but it's always good to know how to ask for this. Vänta ett ögonblick. Wait a moment. Maybe in a restaurant or in a store, if you order something or buy something, they just need to, fix something before they can help you. Then this is what they will tell you, to just wait a moment. And hopefully it's just a moment and not longer. Hur mycket kostar det här? How much is this? So except for getting food, maybe the next thing you need to solve when you're traveling is to buy some things, do some shopping. And then, of course, in Sweden we don't haggle, so when you ask for the price, you'll get what you're expected to pay. There are a few exceptions to this, like a few markets where you can haggle and discuss the price, but most places it's just fixed, so when you ask for it, you'll get the answer you need. Kan jag få notan, tack? Could I get the check, please? This is for asking to pay. In a restaurant, you can just raise your hand and ask for the check and you'll be able to pay. Kan jag få notan, tack? Could I get the check, please? Hjälp. Help. I hope you don't have to use this one anytime at all, because it might mean that you're in a tricky situation, but if you do end up in one, it's of course useful to be able to scream for help, quite similar to the English one, hjälp. So just hjälp, and hopefully someone will run over and help you with whatever it is that you're getting yourself into. Actually, Swedes can be a bit, maybe they won't approach you if you look like you don't need help, so if you pretend that you're okay, so it's actually good to ask for it if you need it. Vi ses senare. See you later. This is, it can either mean that you will see each other later, but you can also just use it to be nice, hope to see you later, but you just say see you later as if you will actually see them, but it's kind of a nice way of saying that you hope to see them later. So, vi ses senare. Or, as you would usually say, actually in Swedish you would say vi ses sen. Sen, instead of senare. So that's a shorter version. A bit more of slang, but you can maybe start with the correct one. Hej då. Goodbye. Short and easy, a version of the hey that we used to say hello. You add a little part in the end, and you can use this for anyone. It's also doesn't matter if they are older or younger or anything like that. Use the same word. And this was the end of the lesson, top 25 phrases in Swedish. I hope you learned some of them already, and that you'll take your time to go out and practice short, easy phrases that will make you sound a bit more nice. And the Swedish people, of course, like everybody, appreciates when you use some of their language. Remember to like, subscribe and comment on Swedish Pod 101, this channel, and also head over to swedishpod101.com to learn more free Swedish. I hope you're still having fun with the language. I am. Hej då, bye bye!
Today we're going to talk about 4 techniques to help you stop translating in your head and instead start thinking in your target language. This will allow you to have conversations with ease, read smoothly, and better understand native speakers. These are 4 methods to help you think in a new language. Number 1, surround yourself with your target language. This way, you'll be completely immersed in the language. Without realizing it, you'll learn pronunciation, sentence structures, grammar, and new vocabulary. Play music in the background while you're cooking, or have a radio station on while you study. Just use one of our endless podcasts available to you. These are easy to listen to in the background while doing other things. Number 2, learn through observation. This is how we all learned our native languages as kids. Words will develop their own meanings that relate better to your target language, rather than meanings that are translated directly. Number 3, speak out loud to yourself. Even if you're a little embarrassed, it forces you to listen to how you speak. It makes it much easier to spot simple grammar mistakes. Number 4, practice daily. If you practice everything for only one day, you won't retain the information you learned. The brain can realistically only focus for about 30 minutes. So studying a little every day allows you to absorb better. Follow these steps and have patience. You'll soon be able to achieve your language learning goals. Just make sure to remember these 4 methods. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start learning more every day.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Swedish ebook before it's gone.